Hello everybody, it's your friend Lucky Penny. Welcome back to another episode of Penny Rambles. Now today I am going to be talking about a discussion that has a lot of toxicity attached to it. But not from the people you would expect to have the toxicity attached to, okay? So, let's give you some background, alright? So, back in the day, TF2 had something called Quickplay, alright? It was a nice way that allowed you to get into a game relatively fast, relatively quick, that had no real repercussions, alright? It was a nice round peg. Was it a good round peg? Not really. It was a little worn out and old, but it was a round peg and it fit the hole, right? But a bunch of content creators, namely people like Array7 and Uncle Dane, came around 2015, 2016, looked at this round peg and said, this old round peg, no, it's not gonna fit the hole anymore. What we need to replace it is a square peg. This square peg will solve all the problems regarding TF2. And they replaced it with the square peg, and wouldn't you know it, the square peg didn't fucking fit. This game's been ruined because a bunch of content creators said, hey, we got this square peg, we want a square peg. But instead of replacing the square peg with the old round peg that we already know we still have, and we already know works, and is perfectly fine, the content creator community was fucking bending over backwards to make sure that the square peg stays in the round hole it doesn't fit in. So much so that they're trying to mold it into the round peg and demonize the original round peg that we already fucking have for no other reason than because the wrong people like the round peg. And honestly, it just feels like they're wasting effort for no reason. And that leads me on to like two videos that I feel like epitomize the discussion regarding Quickplay and Team Fortress 2, okay? The first video, without a doubt, is You Will Not Play by Zesty Jesus. Now, Zesty Jesus is by far one of the most controversial figures in the TF2 community. Pretty much, if you hear Zesty Jesus say something, you can basically get the entirety of Reddit going, oh no, I don't want that! And even though it's like fucking, like, even though he agrees that like, he wants the best for the game, like, we don't want that because Zesty said it! And I know for a fact he is very controversial. He has said some very transphobic shit, supposedly. And if that's the case, then I don't know if I can really get behind him 100%, considering I am trans myself. I don't know how he truly reacts around trans people. I don't know if this is, like, actually a true statement or whatever, but if he does say stuff about transphobic stuff, I don't know if I can support him. But, besides that, I have to admit, the video is by far the best, most well-researched video I think I've seen on the subject. It's so good, I think it single-handedly destroys the debate regarding Quickplay versus casual. It's a 4-hour-long video, it's a very long watch, but the 4 hours is definitely fucking earned, because he uses the time to build up Quickplay, and establish that Quickplay wasn't actually perfect. He actually goes into detail as to how casual formed, and how the content creator community basically astroturfed it into really being something that people actually wanted. And he actually goes into how TF2 as a whole is not supposed to be a competitive game, which is what comp players wanted out of Meet Your Match. So, honestly, it's a great fucking video. And I recommend that if you haven't seen it, you watch it. Genuinely fucking amazing. But, I know I said that it basically single-handedly closed the debate, but I'm not one to be really close-minded. So I decided, you know what? Okay. What about the casual side? So I decided to watch Fish Stick on a Stick Gaming's video regarding fixing casual. It's called Casual is Broken, Let's Fix It. And oh my god, is this video one of the worst fucking videos I think I've ever fucking seen. I am not kidding when I say that this video is without a doubt one of the worst fucking videos on this platform. Like, it literally starts, not even a minute in, with a jab at the other side. Like, homie. You're just basically being petty for no reason other than the fact that you have an ego and you know for a fact you can massage it by going after a target that you hate. Like, honestly. And then the video goes on about extremely mediocre points. At one point, he actually suggested adding a battle pass, like, contract system to the game with premium rewards. And, like, honestly, like, no. And throughout the entire video, he constantly dogs on the Quickplay crowd. So much so that he actively puts people without a doubt, he actually puts people who are quote-unquote being toxic without any censored identities at all, basically inviting his audience to harass those people for no other reason than because he can get away with it. And when he was actually called out about this on the comment section. There was a comment that said, hey, why didn't you censor these people? You're basically giving people an open invitation to harass them. He replied to this comment, and he said, and I quote, "My audience is smart enough to not do this." And there are so many things wrong with this statement that I cannot fucking get into it. But let's just go ahead and start with the first thing. You don't know what capability your audience is, okay? You don't know what your audience is really capable of. The only way you can really know what your audience is capable of is if you yourself consistently engage with the audience and know for a fact what they've done and how they've done it in the past. And the only way you can do that is by being omniscient, and you can't fucking do that, alright? And two, you know who else thought their audience was better than that? Soundsmith. And what did Soundsmith's fanbase do? Send actual fucking CP to the fucking people he hated. So, no. This is not a valid argument. He actually got fucking ratioed hard in that reply segment, bringing up the Soundsmith incident. But, to move on to another thing, he's basically so fucking petty that, like, he actually has a pinned comment basically going, la 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 la, Quickplay isn't coming back, I can't hear you. And that's basically what I fucking see out of that comment. Like, it's basically just a bunch of ad hominem and fucking terrible arguments that just don't add anything to the discussion. He constantly claims that the Bring Back Quickplay crowd are adding nothing to the discussion and just flinging shit around for no reason. When in reality, he's the one fucking flinging shit around for no reason and adding nothing to the discussion. When in reality, the Quickplay crowd actually have something that adds to the discussion. One of the most masterfully made videos on this entire platform. And it's genuinely fucking mind-blowing to me how this person can fucking say that they're doing what he's doing, and like, but this is not the best part, alright? It's not the best fucking part, alright? Okay, so, he made a community post, roughly around a day after the video just released, alright? He received a lot of pushback for this video, you know, like, and I believe that, the video right now is sitting at 1,000 dislikes if you use return dislike. I know that's not really the most accurate metric. I know it's, like, not really the most accurate metric, but, you know, generally, considering the comments, I feel like it's actually good face to say that people didn't really like the video as a whole, instead of just saying it's a hate mob or anything. But, okay, so he got a lot of pushback, and he made a community post. Guess what he fucking said? He said, and I quote, "I'm being harassed on this video because I didn't have the exact right opinion." Homie! It's not that you didn't have the exact right opinion. It's the fact that you're fucking wrong. It's the fact that you made a terrible video. It's the fact that you're basically looking at the opposite side as if they're fucking 12-year-old children and putting your fingers in your ears like, la 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 la, I can't hear you, whenever they actually make a decent point. Literally, you're acting like fucking pirate software. That's literally the best thing I can really do to describe it. You're basically acting like pirate software, not caring to listen to the other side, being egotistical for no reason other than the fact that you have an ego to maintain, and you're basically just being wrong for the sake of being wrong at this point. You're being wrong for the sake that you hate some person on the opposite side, and even if those things about transphobia are true, and I can't support Zesty on principle, he's right. He is correct. Even if you can't agree with Zesty as a person, he is correct. And that is the problem. People are so far up their own asses, they refuse to admit when someone controversial is actually correct in the matter. And that's the biggest problem with this community, is that half the content creators have such a fucking huge ego that they just refuse to really acknowledge that the other side has valid points. Like, I literally, in his fucking comment section, with the pinned comment, he literally fucking made the point that, oh, they're not bringing Quickplay back. Even though, literally, we've been shown that 3 separate times, that if you constantly pisser Valve, and constantly give them negative PR, they're gonna do something. And they're gonna do it for the better. They're not just gonna, like, make things worse. Unless if it's fucking regarding free-to-plays, but they're not gonna just make things worse if it's constantly generating them negative PR. They're gonna make something better. And honestly, Why do you think that's not gonna go anywhere? Like, I just feel like you're just being petty for the sake of being petty. You're being pirate software, and nobody wants to be pirate software except for pirate software. And because of that, I feel like this video is genuinely awful. Now, I feel like here's a good point to end. If you want more information, I will link the video on Casual by Zesty Jesus. I will also link the video on Fishstick. I don't think I should do that, now I think about it, because I don't want to, like, you know, send, harassment his way, because unlike him, I actually know that my audience could be capable of sending harassment, and I don't actually want to fucking encourage it. So, how about I'll just link the video to Zesty, and we'll call it a day, alright? Until then, I will catch you all next time. I do plan on doing a live stream on, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so if you're interested in that, please like, comment, and subscribe, and you'll be notified as to when that's ready. Until then, I will catch you all next time. Bye-bye!